Hi everyone, this is Think Yourself Free, a channel I am dedicating to the discussion of specific words that hold power over our thoughts, opinions, and actions. I decided to start this channel because I am tired of seeing these words used in the media, popular culture, and everyday life, while watching their meanings be corrupted by social engineering and do harm to the people who read, speak, and use them. I'll be doing a number of videos, each explaining a certain word and how it influences our thoughts and actions in its current use. Hopefully people who listen to these videos will be able to see how these words are being used and break the spell to see the hidden meanings and influences behind their use. The first word I would like to talk about is actually the word free. Free is very important, especially to Americans and other Western cultures that define themselves as societies of freedom and liberty. We think we have a freedom that means no one can prevent or threaten or force us to do specific things, to say or not say specific things. We think that we can act as we want, within reason and limits that do not harm others, and move around, speak, and act as we like. Something very unfortunate, though, that lurks in the back of the minds of our people is that we're not really truly free when it comes to being bound by systems that we were born into. The financial system is designed and set up under maritime admiralty law to bind us into financial servitude for our entire lives, through rules that most people don't even realize. Yes, even rich people, as long as they have citizenship, they are tied to the system. They may have a more comfortable or roomy stable, or several other loopholes, but they're still a debt slave unless they're part of an extremely few elite. So free, in a sense, is used to trick us by showing us the lowest common denominator, the basic everyday freedoms to walk around and say what we want and think we're free. A little bit of liberty, a little longer leash than the rest of the world in their dictatorships and socialist societies, and look at us in our free democratic republic. The great social engineers and leaders of the world realize that the more freedoms a society has, or thinks it has, the more productive the populace, and the more those at the top can gain. A person is likely to produce the most when in a field of their choice. This is not to say that the freedoms that were outlined by the Constitution and amendments are not important. They prevent tyrannical government entities given rights, or, if you don't believe in a higher power, our basic rights as humans. For those of you that do not know what your rights are, I suggest you check out some videos by Mark Passio, Stefan Molyneux, or others to understand that a right is something that you as a human may do for yourself, that no one has the ethical power to take from you, and that does not bring harm against other people. But free is very much overused in our current society if you know anything about the people who want to control your every thought through social engineering. Whatever the grand financiers of society want, they have set up schemes long ago to get. They are very patient, over generations, and your government, banks, media, entertainment, politicians, and everyone are on some layer of this hierarchy. It is not a conspiracy theory to say that there are people who are in control of very, very large amounts of money and power in this world. And if you live in any proximity to a society, they control the systems you use and influence how you think about the world. And they'll let you think that you are free, and when you choose between Democrat or Republican, Star Trek or Star Wars, whatever brands you buy and whatever you consume is all in the same trough, a fountain of resources going right up to the elite. That's another way they get you, using the word free. Not only are you free to make choices between their products and the ideologies you buy, but sometimes they'll offer you things as free or affordable. Buy one, get one free healthcare and free college. Everything sounds like such a good deal. Sure, I want free education, free welfare for the poor, affordable housing, affordable healthcare, free handouts. We'll just raise taxes a bit. What a way to sell something, to tell the public it's free and it's instant votes. No one wants to be seen voting against free healthcare or birth control or free school lunches. And once the policies are on the table or in place, they can demonize anyone trying to take it away from the public, saying that they hate poor people because they want to deny them stuff. But that's where the mind control comes in. Something my father taught me very early on is that there's no such thing as a free lunch. There isn't. You have to put work in somewhere to get something out. And telling your citizens that they're going to get something for free is just a bald-faced lie. Free healthcare. Sorry, but taxpayers have to support it. There's no way the government could pay for it because we don't make or export anything anymore. Free college. Sorry, but in the current system, the taxpayers have to support it. And when everyone gets a degree is now worth as much as a high school diploma. Congrats, you went through the same hoops that everyone else did. And now you've got to find a job to pay taxes to support the newcomers to college with all the no money you and everyone else is earning from their useless run-of-the-mill degrees. Look at the word affordable. Affordable housing is none other than cheap, high-volume housing to pack everyone into cities. Here, this is affordable and cheap, not expensive and risky like buying a house. You don't need land and all the troubles it brings. Just live in these tightly controlled cities with everyone else. So what if you don't have room for kids, or are having a family and raising intelligent and moral children who can take care of you in your old age? Just rent a place and buy shit. You don't need to save money. We have a collapsing pension program to care for you in your old age. Affordable healthcare was a joke, a scam, a lie meant to implode. It's not free. It's a burden on those who could have otherwise bought their own insurance in a truly competitive market. It is incentive to stay dependent on the free checks from the government. And when the government picks up the tab, the medical and insurance companies charge as high as they can, and regulations keep other insurance companies from competing. Free, affordable, subsidized, anything from the government is a scam, and it weakens people. It allows the government to take over something that should be regulated by the free market of ideas and business, not with government regulations and intervention. It rewards laziness and puts unnecessary burdens on those who are working and striving to do something beneficial for themselves, who could have shared from their own surplus and a love of their neighbors, but now they're afraid that everything will be taken from them, so they don't spend money or time on their peers. They think to make the healthcare payments that will go to be free to others, or the taxes that will give welfare checks to scammers, and the government will dip their hand across the revenue and filter the rest through layers of bureaucracy and continue to lie through their teeth about how we just need to give more to help out the families who had 5 kids on a minimum wage job. Free can mean supporting the bad decisions of others in the current times. Don't fall for how nice a bill or proposal sounds. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and it's going to come out of your pocket eventually. One good meaning that free still has is in free speech, but even that is getting attacked harder than ever. You may have heard the expression, hate speech is not free speech. But this is wrong. All speech is free speech. There is no concrete definition of hate speech, and if you try to shut down someone else's words simply because they offend you, eventually someone else will come along and try to shut down your speech on the grounds that they're offended. There's a more complicated area involving threats and terrorism and how one should act when someone uses their free speech to threaten other people. While I support the idea that there is a line between words and actions, and that no one should be punished by the government because of their words, we do have an issue of how to react when someone is showing danger signs. In an ideal world, people would have free speech and would be able to interact and confront others on an individual basis. In today's society, we depend on authorities to step in and deal with someone we have an issue with. My suggestion to this would be to react in proactive defense. This does not mean attacking or imprisoning the person speaking threats, but increasing one's own defense or allowing authorities to protect the potential victims. The physical violence should only be crossed in self-defense as a rational person would do to defend themselves from an attack. No matter how you use your free speech, everyone is responsible for their own actions. You have the ability to speak your mind and share ideas, the capacity to build and destroy. Free speech is simply a tool and cannot itself be a good or bad thing except how you use it. We must always consider the consequences of our actions. Your use of free speech may cause people to attack you verbally, physically, or legally. You could lose friends, invite scrutiny from authorities, get sued for lying, or be beaten up by someone who didn't like what you said. Or you could build a relationship, trilogy, upend tyrannical government. It is the right of anyone else to react to your speech as they see fit, with their own free speech or their own actions, which also have consequences. It is our job to take responsibility for what we say and to use our free speech for the best of our abilities. I personally believe there are moral consequences for our speech, and people with certain religious beliefs may also consider that in their own actions. There are legal consequences for some speech, and while I don't believe that the government itself should ever control our speech, other individuals will react as they see fit with their own bounds to create a balance of ideas. Another realm is the free market, the unregulated market of ideas, where individuals can promote their business, their research, philosophy, products, services, where we can interact person to person without the overarching government sticking their hand out to swipe some money or power for their middleman services. The free market can still be free and is absolutely necessary to bring us out of the other traps of society. So watch out for how the word is used and always look for who is making the promises, who is funding, providing, offering, promoting something as free, and decide for yourself if the offer is logically and morally good or if it's just another trick. People need to think, be critical, research, and examine all options before they make decisions.